Once Human is going to be getting 2 new scenarios soon, which will be the new PvP and PvE scenario. This will start its early access on May 22nd. The new mode 7-day World Forbidden Zone, which is the PvP scenario, and the Endless Dream, which is the PvE scenario. Starting off with the PvE scenario, the core gameplay rules will be all existing maps and areas are open, which means all the maps are merged together. Way of Winter, together with Manibus, you'll be able to explore and build your bases there. You can freely build and construct the battlefield, which means there's no core territories, which means probably it's gonna be super laggy, and I don't know how it's gonna work out with other players destroying your buildings as well, or how will the permissions work. But that's pretty much that, and the dynamic scenario progress, multiple endings with collective efforts. Scenario endings will depending on how you players progress in the scenario. Not sure how this is gonna affect the scenario or if it's gonna change the rewards. I mean, all the rewards there is in this game is literally asterism crates, but that's gonna be fun to try it out, I guess. As for the new PvP mode, 7 days World Forbidden Zone, well, this is gonna be a new PvP scenario completely for the hardcore players. If you ever played Ark, Daisy, Rust, this is gonna be literally the same game, except it's in Once Human with hella bugs. Yup. Anyways, in this scenario, there will be no mods, no power surge, shrapnel, all of that BS. Everything will be super balanced, and every single person will have the same amount of HP when it comes to gunfights. PvP will be open everywhere. Save zones might be only in POIs, like the towns you TP to, although I'm not really sure of that. 100% PvP anywhere else will be open. There is literally no save zones like Prisoners. As soon as you land or spawn in, by the way, PvP is literally on. You can also build your main base and multiple bases, say for example 2nd and 3rd, but after you build it, you cannot move it ever again. Well, unless it gets destroyed or something. When you die, you lose almost all of your loot. You probably get to keep like 10% of the loot. And lastly, yes, there is sleepers in the game, just like in Rust. When you log out, your body stays in the world, which means anyone can loot you or just kill you. And when you log back in, you're dead or just naked. I have some really cool weapon balance changes and adjustments. So this is all translated from a post that they have made, which is here. This post will be left in the pinned comments. You'll be able to check it out yourself. They basically changed calibrations. They've changed how reload speed is calculated, which I'll get into later. Mainly in PvP, they adjusted some weapons. Also, for PvE as well. What's coming up next might be shocking. Yes, guys, they nerfed the power surge crossbow. Finally! Alright, so let's get right into it. First of all, starting with Shrapnel keyword. Shrapnel is getting a 10% damage boost for its, well, shrapnel damage. As you can see right now, the old original version is 50% and now it's getting buffed by 10%. Doombringer is getting changed. Its Hunter's Mark, the 3 meters, is getting increased. So you can mark enemies further away up to maximum of 8. Defeating marked enemies is 6% attack, 60 seconds, 5 stacks. This has been changed, just lasting for 15 seconds. Although I think this was always 15 seconds. I think this is just a translation error by the devs themselves. But yeah. I don't really remember. It's been like months since I used Doombringer. Damage reduction isn't getting changed, it's the same. Critical rate isn't getting changed, it's the same. Reload speed of the Doombringer is getting changed though, however. So it will reload faster. Then Outer Space is getting a huge buff for PvE and a huge nerf for PvP. It's like, I don't understand the why, but trigger chance is getting buffed up by 5% to trigger it. The base chance is 30%. Good for PvE and PvP. On kill effect is getting changed. So the trigger chance bonus, which applies to your base, is gone. But there's a new mechanic now. When you hit surge affected targets 15 times, it summons a Thunderstrike, which deals 300% of your psi intensity damage and 40% to players. Now, the problem with this in PvP, we all already know, if you have a lightning impulse regulator, well, GG's. You're basically going to be shooting the enemy and the enemy is going to get healed and proc the lightning impulse regulator. So I don't understand how is this going to be good for PvP at all, unless if it's not going to work. Well, we'll see, I guess, but in my eyes, I think this is just cooked. Reload bonus, we have a 40% surge coefficient, which is now changed to surge damage. Bonus trigger chance has been changed to just literally shock damage, I guess. Or it might be power surge damage bonus. Not sure on the translations, but it's either one of those or that. If it's shock damage, it will do less damage, but if it's power surge damage, that's going to be a huge damage boost. So this might not even be a nerf, but a buff here. Again, the translations are wrong, so don't blame me. Predator is getting a weird buff again. Consecutive hit bonus, you get basically are able to max out your weapon damage for Predator by 20% more. So instead of having 60% max weapon damage bonus, you can get up to 80%. You just basically stack it 2% every hit. Again, the target switch is what kind of F's up this gun, but this gun is literally for just single target bossing. If you want to kill mobs, hordes of mobs, this gun is complete garbage for that. So this gun is like for Prime Wars, Chaos Weavers, that type of content. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Critical Pulse, the most dogshit designed weapon in the entire game that ruined PvP completely. And what made us all quit PvP is now finally getting nerfed. Honestly, fuck this gun, dude. I'm so happy that it's getting a nerf. The chain surge, which when you shoot an arrow to the player, it ticks 5 times, is now getting a 10% damage nerf. And the player damage ball lighting is getting nerfed by 25%. It's a lot of damage nerf for the ball, but for the ticks though, it's only 10%. I might be worried that even after the nerf, the crossbow is still going to be good, but I feel like what they need to nerf is not the damage, but the stacking of the power surge. Can't wait to find out and see where this leads, and will this save PvP? I mean, PvP is dead anyways. Even if they nerf the crossbow, PvP is not going to come back alive. And regardless, even if they nerf the crossbow, you can't really use this crossbow in the new scenario because there's no power surges or shrapnels or unstable bombers in the new scenario. It's just basic guns with no elemental damages, so this doesn't really affect the new scenario. Mainly this affects Prismverse, Evolution's Call, and all that. And the next gun is Hazardous Objects. Yes, it's getting 12% damage reduction in PvP. And that's pretty much it for that. This was never really my favorite gun. You know, I've always been like a double bingo abuser in PvP. So yeah, that's what I will stick with. Then we have calibrations. Let's go into that. And lightweight shotguns. So reload speed, instead of 150% reload speed, which I don't even understand why it was 150 reload speed when the reload speed cap is 100%, but maybe this is a mistranslated stat that the devs accidentally put in, but that's what it was in the game before. They are changing this to reload efficiency 40%, and this is going to be huge, and I will explain right now why. Basically, right now how it is like this. Let's say you're using Doombringer, and Doombringer takes 2 seconds to reload. So we take that number and you divide it by the 100% reload speed that we have, which will turn the reload speed into 1 second. And it has to be 100% because the cap is 100% instead of 150. If it was 150, this number would be lower. Now, of course, if we put 150 here, then that number would be like this. We would take 0.8 seconds to reload Doombringer. Well, there you go. But that's not the case because it's capped to 100. So anyways, that shit is gone. Now, the new calibrations is basically the max reload speed bonus we can have is 84%. 12% multiplied by 7, right? We can have 12% on each of our mod. And then we have the reload efficiency multiplier, which is applied to the final number. So first we take the amount of seconds or whatever to reload the gun. You apply the reload speed bonus. You get the final number over here, which would be, in this case, this. And then you apply the reload efficiency multiplier to the final number, and you get this number. This is the amount of seconds it takes to reload your Doombringer. This amount. And this is only 15%. So let's say it was 40%. And yeah, if we apply the 40% reload efficiency, we would reload Doombringer in literally 0.78 seconds, which is, does this bring the old Doombringer back? I don't know, but that sounds exciting. We'll find out soon. So that's how the reload efficiency will work over here. Oh, also, mag capacity is minus 25% here instead of 30% for the lightweight shotgun. Now, this is kind of like, it's buffing all of the calibrations. It's not really like nerfing any of them. So don't get like discouraged by seeing these less numbers here. That it's like, oh, from 40% it went to 10%. That's so bad. It's not bad. It's just they're applying the calculations differently now. It's like a complete new multiplier. So this is a good thing, not a bad thing. They basically say themselves, precision proofreading. The reload speed in the refined blueprint has an upper limit, which is limited for some guns. We hope to provide a new experience for the metas in the refined blueprint, so we have added a new reload efficiency attribute and replaced the original effect. The reload speed attribute affects the basic reload time of the firearm, and the reload efficiency attribute affects the final reload time. Metas can freely combine the two attributes to achieve a faster reload experience. So that's the formula that I used and showed you already. And regarding the specific values of the adjustment, since different gun models will have different effects after replacing the fine-tuned drummings, we will try our best to keep the gun reloading time consistent before and after the adjustment. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what do you think. If you guys have any questions, join my Discord. I answer everything there. See you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.